have an interesting industry presentation, I would like to invite Samit Sangai, co-founder, TrueScholar, on the stage to present the presentation here. A round of applause, please.
Educationists, vice chancellors, deans, you know. I am here, my name is Samit Sangai and I am co-founder of TrueScholar. I'll talk about what TrueScholar is all about in a quick 10-minute presentation, and I know everybody is hungry, so I'll make it short and crisp for you. TrueScholar is world's most advanced digital credential issuance platform. That means it helps institutes, universities, edtechs to issue digital certificate or a digital badge, which is as a micro credential, to the student. Being backed by blockchain, this certificate becomes immutable. It cannot be tampered with. You cannot change, hack, delete, morph, do any kind of manipulation with such certificates. And then it becomes very easy to share and get it verified with the prospective employer. So TrueScholar is built with a single vision to reduce the gap between employability and skills. It helps students to get hired faster by presenting digital resumes with verifiable claims inbuilt into it. Before I talk more about blockchain and the product, we'll take a quick short activity, I would say that. I am pretty sure we have been talking about how technology is influencing every sphere of our life in education too, and how it is changing the roles of education institutes, changing the ecosystem of how student learns and things like that. I would request, I believe everyone would have a smartphone in their pockets. Can you please bring it in your hand and show it to me? Your smartphones. Great. Can you unlock that? And once you unlock, pass it on to the person sitting next to you. All right, that's what I wanted to bring in. I want to bring in a sense of the trust, the belief that we have in between us. And that's the world we live in today. We know each other, we follow each other, we believe each other, but the underlying principle of having trust is not there, because most of the things are too sensitive and personal to us. Similarly, that's the same stage where how a student with his efforts of completing his degree, diploma, any other reskilling course goes through it, and then he gets a physical copy of certificate in his hand. But today, we live in a digital world. I think gentlemen here raised a question, how many people have now really have visited their banks? Because that's how we transact now without using the physical money. And the moment we talk about the same situation with students, students don't have that credibility and flexibility to prove their skills or reskilling that they might have acquired today. And with TrueScholar, we have built one of the most advanced technological platform, which is not just digitizing the record for digitizing sake, but it is helping them to keep it personal. It is helping them to keep it secured. At the same time, it is helping them to present it to someone who can verify those skill sets on a click of a button with the trust of a blockchain ecosystem. And that's what TrueScholar is all about. I think we already know what I wanted to raise here is there are a lot of fraudulent credentials in circulation in the market. And with the kind of digitization we have today, I call it as low-tech digitization. It's more easy for people and for prospective students probably to misrepresent their data to employers. And that with the COVID has skyrocketed, I would say that. The statistics says it has been 28% credentials have been in circulation are fraudulent, maybe because of the educational claims, maybe because of their other things that goes into making a digital resume. At the same time, there are a lot of fake degree mills, probably we know that, and the kind of education system we had since centuries, it is supporting the concept of misrepresenting information. And when we deep dive into it, we understand the whole process of issuance needs to be changed. The verification is more important, but I believe unless and until the issuance itself is made on a secured platform, which doesn't have any possibility of getting into any fraudulent record, the verification part would be not justified. And that's how a blockchain-based credential issuance management can really change that scenario. So once an institute issues a digital certificate or a digital badge, maybe a micro credential, maybe reskilling, upskilling, because we are getting into more flexible mode of learning, understanding lot many subjects which were not only just part of the core domain, but to have more skill sets which are required by the employer in future state. And with that, we can eliminate the basic problem of having high cost to the issuance process. We have a high cost to the data which is stored or maybe in a physical format or maybe on a centralized data server, which is still prone to hacking, which is still prone to low speed of response when somebody or a number of students or number of people get onto a single standalone system. Yes, that yields into a high operational cost, which we can be eliminated with a verifiable digital credential platform. So TrueScholar is built with one single vision to become a unique credential wallet to every student, where he will keep on learning, earning his lifelong learning records, which will help him to make a verifiable digital resume with all the verifiable claims of skill sets, degrees, diplomas that he might have learned over a period of time, and then present it to the prospective employer or maybe a higher education institute, domestic or on an international level. Being backed by blockchain, the data is secured, it's stored on multiple servers, it's stored on a distributed ledger, which makes it impossible to tamper with. So this kind of credential wallet access is called as a Web3 application for students, which is very secured, which is very unique, and every credential which is issued to a student has been signed on a blockchain platform with the public and private key of the institute. And that's how when it is presented to someone, anyone who's willing to verify those documents can see the metadata, can understand the time stamping of the certificate, when it was issued, to whom it was issued, and how well it fits into the verification process. I'll talk about some of the prominent features. So I talked about an ecosystem where we are trying to solve the issuance and the verification process. But that's just the basic answer to the problem statement that we have in our hand. Apart from that, being a product, it can help you to do much more things looking into the future that we are getting into. So the first very one, it has a Canva-like tool which can design custom certificates based on your template for a particular university or institute in a couple of minutes without taking any help of any third party designer or a printer or you name it. Every badge can be issued. Micro credentials are getting more popular, I would say that, across the globe. And with the advent of small modular courses, stackable courses, flexible courses, which are very subject specific and are being required skill set by the students for the industry, I think digital badges kind of a program can also help you to talk about the level of expertise somebody's gain out of a particular course set. So somebody might be a beginner into a particular course, some might be an intermediate, or some might become an advanced or more advanced. And this badge can become your brand badge by stating, just by looking at it, people can recognize this is a reputed course being conducted by a reputed institute. You can issue in bulk, you can download in bulk, because it's a program, it's a software run on blockchain, which eliminates a lot of friction when you do it manually, or you still use age-old method of fine-tuning, vetting of the records which is being shared with the printer, and then rechecking it once it comes back to your office itself. Well, we live in a digital world, again and again I'm saying that, and that means students today love to share what they earn. Even professors, even institutes would like to reach out to their students, prospective students, when they talk about themselves in social media. I mean, that's a digital profile of yours, right? We are going into a metaverse very shortly. We talk about a lot of metaverse applications, but even in Web2 application, this is the way we reach out to number of people, I would say number of followers, lakhs of followers, just by putting our stuff on the social media, say LinkedIn and Facebook, where we reach out to them. When students share those certificates, because they have an inbuilt feature to share those certificates on their login, it becomes a testimonial right away for the institute. It's not the student who gets noticed, it's also the institute which indirectly earns that brand reputation. We have a skill gap analytics dashboard. So imagine a situation where new courses and new skill sets are getting evolved. I mean, I'll talk about the statistics, you won't believe that. By today, whatever we have as a skill set in 2020, 50% was not even coined in 2010. Similarly, it is predicted that 85% of the skill sets that would be required by 2030 have not even been coined yet. We don't even know that. And that's the kind of ever-changing technological change world we live in. With skill gap analytics, you can understand what are the skill sets which are in demand either by the corporates who are trying to verify those certificates or even by the students who are pursuing courses from multiple sources. And I know you know how flexible and modular learnings have gotten with the introduction of online courses and technology. Yes, we are partnered with DigiLocker. We are one of the 9 other companies which have partnered with DigiLocker, which helps you to issue a DigiLocker compliant certificate free of cost. I think there has been a mandate by the central government, which initially formed the NAD, NAD, and now NAD is being moved on top of DigiLocker itself. And most of the institutes are now being requested to issue a digital certificate which students can fetch on DigiLocker. Well, that integration is right over there, which is free of cost for you. You can digitize your old records and you can help your alumni to have a much better interface to present their credentials to wherever they want and they want to migrate to further. We do a lot of white labeling solutions, so whatever emails and communications are sent out by institutes or universities are sent out directly through their email ID, which kinds of removes the confusion of any third-party vendor in between. We are also being a software company, being a blockchain professionals. We are trying to provide a lot of API integrations with your existing LMS and ERP solutions, which means you don't even have to take the effort of putting the data once. You can just import it, integrate it with your LMS ERP, and then utilize it as per the life cycle of the courses being conducted at your institute. Lot of good universities and institutes have already got onboarded. Now we are 250 plus, I would say that. So we have Bennett, we have DY Patil, MIT, which has already got on board with us. We have been part of many events, and I think this is our 6th or 7th. And I thank ELET's team for having us as a credential partner for the event. So in general, just to cut short, we are helping all kind of educational institutes, universities, institutes, a lot of new age edtech companies to issue a digital certificate or a digital credential to their students based on their course set. Thank you, and we look forward to get you on board. We have a stall right over here, so please feel free to stop by, and if you have any queries, we would be happy to assist you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful presentation. I would now like to request Dr. Narasimha Sarma, NVS Director, Indian Institute of Information Technology, to please come on the stage and present the memento to Samit Sangai, co-founder, TruScholar. Can we have a round of applause, please?